The main objectives of the assertive nationalists was the immediate attainment of Swaraj. You can underline this, which means complete independence and not just self-government in the colonies of Australia, New Zealand, etc. Simply you can learn this, that the immediate attainment of the Swaraj, that is complete independence without the control, without the rule of the Britishers. Now the various methods, very important, used by the assertive nationalists, they were, first part, it is a Sabdeshi means producing their own items in one's own country and using them for one's use without being dependent on others. So we will make our own things, we will make our own clothes, we will make our own salt, earlier also we were making, and we will make use of our own products. The next point, it is the boycott. Boycott are these were the two different methods, Swadeshi and boycott. Both they were used. If we will adopt Swadeshi, then we will boycott the other products, the various products which were which was brought to India by the Britishers in order to sell. So our own industries, they will be run, they will be making use of the raw materials, and people, they will be provided the employment in one's country. The third point, it is a national education. The national education was to be replaced, that the government controlled universities and colleges, and there will be like large number of national schools, like you can say that this Bengal National College was set up, then DAV institutions, they were set up. They opened many school and colleges in order to give the educations to the students. Then passive resistance. Under passive resistance, we are going to study these 3 points. Revivalism. Early assertive leaders, they revived the past, like Tilak revived the Shivaji festival, and then they talked about Chandragupta, Vikramaditya, then Rana Pratap, Shivaji as heroes in order to motivate the people. Then personal sacrification, they asked the people that in order to get the freedom from the Britishers, we are ready to self-sacrifice, we are ready to suffer, we are ready to do anything in order to achieve the freedom. Then the third major point, it is a mass involvement. The main motive of the assertive leaders was to involve more and more masses. They want that more and more people should be involved, not confined to some classes. Now see students, there are, in a box you will find that there is a comparison between the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists. Very important question. Please learn any 5 or 4 points from these. Clear? Now the next, it is repressive measures of the government. No doubt assertive nationalists, they suffered most, because whenever they started any movements, they were criticized by the Britishers, they were beaten by the Britishers, they banned their newspapers, they prohibited their mass meetings, and started prosecutions against them. Clear? So what this was the you can say repressive mayor. Now the another one, that what was the achievements of the early assertive nationalists. So number 1, if you will come, they were able to tell the people, or they were able to motivate the people by celebrating Ganpati, Shivaji festivals, and by through their writings can underline Maratha and Kesari. They were able to give the information to the people of India. Then they gave the slogan like non-cooperation, passive resistance, mass agitation, self-reliance. They spoke, wrote, written in the newspaper in vernacular languages in order to encourage, in order to motivate large number of people. Through their writings and speeches, they were able to infuse spirit of nationalism among the people. They were motivated by their writings, their speeches. Then self-reliance, the Sabdeshi and boycott. Many like Jamshed Jamshedji Tata established steel industries. Then Bengal Chemical Works they were set up. Then Ravindranath Tagore he set up Videshi Bhandars, etc. So they declared that what India needed was a total freedom, and that freedom is from the foreign rule. Many new educational institutions they were set up in order to teach the Indians. Then the movement which has started from Bengal, it spread almost all over the country. It was due to the efforts and sacrifices made by the assertive leaders that partition of Bengal was annulled, and it created a self-confidence among the people of India. Now, these were about your assertive nationalists. Now, students, in third chapter, we have read about the three leaders, and in this chapter also, we will study about the three important leaders. And again, these three important leaders, which we are going to study, you will learn their contribution, you will make their points, and you will learn their contributions in points, and make sure that the various books, various newspapers written by them you have to learn. Now the first one, it is a Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak is also known as the father of assertive nationalism. Underline. And he played a very, very important role in order to get the freedom from the Britishers. So he was born in Maharashtra, and he founded a Pune New English School. Then Deccan Education Society was also founded by him. Now his contribution, demand for Swaraj. The first point, it is very important, the slogan given by him, Swaraj is my birthright. Please underline. He said, and I shall have it. So this was the slogan which was given by him, and he was the first nationalist leader who came close contact with the masses, and he encouraged the people by his writings, and he also organized many akhadas and lathi clubs in order to give the physical training to the people of India. The second point, it is a preached nationalism. Now, the Tilak started using the traditional religious like Ganpati festivals in order to motivate the Indians, in order to tell them about their activities, and he also motivated the people through songs and through speeches. Then he encouraged the people of Maharashtra by telling them about the tales of Shivaji. He also started two newspapers, please underline, Maharatha and the Kesari, and which became very, very popular among the Indian masses. And one of the important well-known, he wrote two well-known books. The first one, the Gita Rahasya, please underline, question can be asked, and the Arctic Home of the Vedas. So these were some of the books which was written by this person. The third point, established Home Rule League. Tilak set up Home Rule League at Pune to attain self-government within the British Empire. Now he is also called the forerunner of Gandhiji. The reason behind, Tilak was the forerunner of Mahatma Gandhi. Like Tilak idea of Swaraj was later on adopted by Mahatma Gandhi in order to get the complete independence. Secondly, Tilak came with close contact with the people of India, with the masses of India. And third, Tilak preached the idea of Swadeshi, boycott and prohibition. So these all the ideas, they were adopted by Mahatma Gandhi later on. And fourth, Tilak had to suffer several terms of imprisonment, and as we know that in order to get the freedom from the Britishers, Mahatma Gandhi and many other leaders, they were also imprisoned by the Britishers for number of time. So Tilak's selfless patriotism and strong determination encouraged the masses in order to get the freedom from the Britishers.